Greetings, fellow Gothamites. Tiki here.
And Bluedragonfive. Over 10 years ago, as the Dark Knight changed things forever, we lost the actor who made it happen. Heath Ledger delivered the ultimate performance that left us eternally wanting more. While we all thought we saw the last of his betrayal of the Clown Prince of Crime, two men unearthed amazing footage of what he might have done next.
The job falls to us to comb over the files and documented exploits of patient 4479 and this ultimate tribute to the role of a lifetime. Let's start today's tribute with two cops, a clown, and a police department. Who wants donuts?
I do. Are they appreciation donuts?
Okay, so Dragon, we've got some Bullock.
That we do.
So Dragon, I'm just going to be a kind of a broken record and say this might be my favorite one yet, if only just because I really love how this fits in structurally with everything that we've seen so far. And I also love that it's going to kind of tie in, and I assume that the next episodes are going to be like, okay, like, the Joker said, go check the tapes. The next episode, I assume, is going to be the tapes.
You would be correct.
All right. So, Dragon, like, this episode by itself might not be, like, the most exciting or eventful, but, man, like, from a structure point of view, I'm really into it, because I love how it's like we have a little bit of a time jump, and now we're going to, like, fill in the blanks. Like, Dragon, honestly, it's like this will probably go by fast, because it really is just kind of like a setup episode to introduce that format, but, oh, I'm loving it. I'm so down.
I had a feeling you would.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, a little bit of context. So, okay, so at this point we are out of Arkham, since the Joker's escape, and, we kind of teased up the aftermath, and again, we have now begun our non-linear time jump to the aftermath of our story. And again, just kind of the mystery element is now at play to what the heck happened? Because now he's on his way back. We completely missed, like, what did he do when he was out?
Right.
So now all of basically all of our story now is basically went from therapy sessions to evidence. As we've established here with the GCPD video evidence with the 911 call that we kind of used the bridge into this episode.
Mixed media, man, I love it.
Oh yeah, so of course something big to hit here. There was a very famous Batman comic that influenced the interrogation scene, The Dark Knight, which we very much bring about here as well. It was from Gotham Central. Remember the show they really wanted the Gotham show to be?
Of course, yeah.
That story's it's like in the second volume of the story. It's called Soft Target.
Honestly, ultimately, I feel like the Gotham show that we got, as imperfect as it was, had an identity to it that I don't think just doing a straight Gotham PD show could have accomplished.
No, that's true. I'm just saying, again, the fundamental difference being the Gotham series, I mean, I think at its best, captured what I hoped it would, where it be about
I feel like the Gotham series is like, I feel like it's getting more of a cult appreciation as it goes on, as time goes on.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. At its best, it kind of captured, how the city molds people. Again, the city being a character in itself. Where Gotham Central is literally so it's the GCPD precinct.
Because we do live in a society, after all.
Yes, Tiki.
All right, I'm sorry.
So my point is, so again, there's a story called Soft Targets, where, and again, this is before Nolan did it, where basically Joker, he's like a sniper. He basically has like a whole crime that involves being a sniper, and he gets caught on purpose. And pretty much he's interrogated by the GCPD, and the whole shtick of Gotham Central is that the one tragedy of Gotham Central is that Jim Gordon is not around in the story because he had retired at that point in the comics. So it's it's a different ballgame with the police department, where they don't necessarily get along with Batman, where they're trying to solve these crimes before Batman has to get involved.
Uh-huh.
So basically, they're dealing with the Joker, which obviously Batman's going to have some feelings about. So it's like they're trying to kind of put the wheels to the Joker, hopefully get some stuff out of him, and obviously, tall order. So, and again, all of that inspired the GCPD shenanigans in the Dark Knight. And of course, big thing, the one thing that Nolan never gave us officially, Bullock introduced into the Nolanverse.
Yeah. So this is great. I love how this Bullock, in the true Nolan style, he's not a caricature by any means. He doesn't have like the, like the stereotypical like, "Hey, I'm walking here" kind of accent. He's just a pissed off man. And that's at the heart of it. What Bullock kind of is inherently. So.
Well, we also represented some core elements like the donuts.
Right, of course. Oh my God, the donuts were used so well.
Yep. Yeah, Bullock needs a pastry, darn it. All right.
Dragon, oh God, okay. You know how Six Flags, I'm sorry, random armchair Imagineer tangent here for a second, all right? So, you know how Six Flags kind of like from time to time they'll have like the Gotham City section with their Batman ride and everything?
Yeah.
And just imagine like a Bullock donut shop.
That'd be great.
Just like, I don't know, I imagine like maybe themed to a police department, just like, I don't know. Anyways.
Anywho. All right. So all that said, again, so this is just again set after the exciting story that will unfold that we will dive back into. So all that said, let's dive into this one.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so let's do it. So I love the title card, of course, with the multiple donuts.
Well, some of those are just like him drawing a donut, so it's really only 2 donuts. Yeah.
There's the chocolate one for the O and 2, right, and the jelly one.
I believe so. Yes, the jelly one's the down. I think the jelly one's like for clan or police department. Yeah, I think police department. Anyway, so you'll notice again we've changed up our title cards as well. Where again all the title cards going forward for a bit are going to be in the with very few exceptions, are going to be kind of in the whole like the Gotham City Police Department kind of like little kind of format.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So let's see. So and also, I love that we have like it written in jelly and everything too. I love that we use that donut to write all this.
Supporting the blood thing, yeah.
I mean, some of it is blood, some of it is jelly. There's a question: is it blood?
Nice
is
mixture
it jelly?
of the two.
Yeah, who knows?
Huh.
Okay, so again, here's our clues to what has happened. What Joker's kind of like his kind of happy-go-lucky crime spree's been. So Joker's in a tuxedo. He is covered in blood. His arm is covered in blood.
I love the costume, by the way.
That's great. And again,
it just makes me more excited about like, oh God, like he must have had some sort of fancy affair or something. He must have dressed up for some sort of occasion.
Because you remember, he left in the iconic Joker suit. Now he's in a new costume. Which again, we keep putting him in a different costume, give him different props in these videos, which is great. So he's covered in blood. It's been a long night since. Again, the idea he called the ambulance, which the ambulance probably then realized who he was, took him directly to the police department or the hospital, and then he was then taken to the GCPD. So that's where we're at now. It's probably the same night still, but like the end of the late night. Mm-hmm. All right, so now the Joker is suffering through a less, in his eyes, I assume, a less interesting interrogation. With the GCP, let's face it, the GCPD are no Batman.
Yeah, I really like how you can just you can see like the mix of boredom and just like resentment in his eyes.
Yeah. Okay, so we have Bullock and Jim Corrigan. No, not Jim Gordon, folks. Jim Corrigan.
All right, that name drives me crazy, Dragon.
And again, Corrigan, I forget if he was...
I understand why they don't want to do Gordon because of the Gary Oldman of it all, but still.
Yeah, well, I'm just saying, even, again, in that story, they didn't have to worry about 2 Jim Gordons. They just had, like, Jim Corrigan, because Gordon was out of the picture in the Gotham Central book, so they didn't really have to worry about it anyway. So, now, here's what you need... Again, these points, they were very prominent in Gotham Central, but also Jim Corrigan in the comics, through Gotham Central, he goes on to become a superhero. He becomes the Spectre.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Anyway, so again, I love that we keep up the framing of, again, so far, we still have not seen the faces of people, really. We've cut them off because they're the adults, the authority figures in the room, literally, being cops. So Bullock, the idea is that Bullock has barged in on Corrigan here because he's upset because this freak killed my partner.
Yeah, did you like your little joyride?
Little clue as to the climax, by the way, mentioning the joyride.
Freak. And then I love Dragon. I kind of like described it to you over Skype, but he has like that Freddie Highmore just resentment for everyone dating Vera Farmiga look on his face when he says freak.
Yep. Oh yeah, he doesn't like that. It's like again, it's like with the it's the like with the Russians and the mob in the earlier they work for a freak like you.
Uh-huh.
Obviously, other Joker related things we talk about have made him quite the meal of the freak runner.
Oh yeah.
So let's see. So Bullock's really confident here. He's just honestly just trying to put the screws to him and trying just to make him sweat, which obviously with the Joker will never work in a billion years. Like they're gonna lock you up and throw away the key. Then we have one of the great lines of the episode here. That's a whole lot of keys to swallow. Is that why they hired you? Just if you had one line for the Joker to say to Bullock, this would be the line.
Sure.
All right, so Corrigan, he's trying to be good cop here. He's holding Bullock back. So again, Corrigan is down there for a reason.
I love how Joker just kind of like puts up his fists like he's about to engage in a fist fight.
Yeah, he's giving the old the old put 'em up pose. Like,
right.
All right, so let's see. And again, Bullock does not command equal status that Batman does, like when he was in the interrogation room, where again Joker was like, I'm gonna play with this guy. I don't have to really take knocks. I'm not take barbs at him because I respect. I'm on an equal status with this guy.
Uh-huh.
So Corrigan suggests some cooperation right now, and then again they're really getting into it here, where we're not supposed to be down here, and Bullock just barged in because that's what Bullock does. He's barged in there just to give him a piece of his mind. What's your excuse, Corrigan? And Joker is having fun with kind of the tension in the room. Yeah, what's your excuse, Corrigan?
Yeah, he's very much just kind of like the devil on the shoulder on both sides of the equation here.
But again, Mommy and Daddy are fighting in the room, and he's just playing one against the other. And again, now you'll notice, as Joker indicates throughout the episode here, there is a shady element to Corrigan, which, knowing Gotham Central, is very well founded.
Mm-hmm.
So anyways, it's like, well, we're leaving, but who's going to keep me company? And basically, they want to know what happened. And one can make the argument, perhaps it's to get the collar. Like, we cracked the Joker. We got the information. We found out things before, let's say, the media finds out things. We can keep things under wraps. So again, they want to know answers. They want to know everything. And again, Joker, I just love how Bobby's, well, look, you guys literally have all the tapes. Why ask such a dumb question that's beneath me?
And of course, that just sets up more mystery, where it's like, oh, they have all the tapes. They have all the stuff that we have not seen yet.
Exactly. So and again, Joker is making a mockery of the legal system here. I'm not saying anything till my attorney shows up.
Mm. And of course, it's blatantly clear, like no one's coming for you.
Not since he skinned the last one with Vernon Fields. Of course, all right, the bear hug. I love that he's completely forgot. Oh yeah, I turned that guy into a bear hug. How do you forget that? All right, so then tell us what happened. In exchange for what? A donut?
Yeah.
And Bullock will never sacrifice any of his donuts to a crook.
I love how he just grabs the box and just takes it away like, no, I don't think so. I'd rather die.
Exactly. And again, Joker's just seeing the utter futility and helplessness of the GCPD, which he just is so kind of disgusted at. Like, guys, come on, really? These are the questions you're asking me. Then he just continues like, have a community service then. Not in this century. And Joker kind of goes on to say, like, it's a good idea. It's a good idea. You don't want me on the side of a road poking at trash or things I consider to be trash.
That's a good line.
Yeah. All right, let's see. Here's another little glimpse at the mystery here. Bullock knows about the security guard. I think we have an idea who that security guard is, right?
Mm-hmm. I have a guess, yeah.
Yep. So let's see. So he wants to have everything post Arkham, which again, I think that the really great thing about this episode is with the whole non-linear thing is this is a real meta call out of like, hey, we the audience want to know what happens next.
And then Joker's just like literally saying like, oh, one of your guys put it up on YouTube, so
Well, no, he's saying one of them could put it up on YouTube. Like
right. I'm sorry.
Like
Yeah,
suggesting it, like says like, no way, like that's GCPD video evidence. But it is now. But if one of you guys would put up on YouTube, It's never going to see the light of day, which, as we know, leaks are inevitable, and not only in today's culture, but especially with the GCPD and the city.
I honestly feel like this episode, or this series, just in general, is a little bit ahead of its time with, not just the commentary on leaks, but just the general format of the mixed media kind of ARG of it all.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So, of course, Joker knowing and reading people in an instant, I just love that he calls this out so accurately. I'll tease up this much. He's very on the money here. We're just Joker calls out. Maybe that's why Corrigan's down here. Make a little profit on the side. She's absolutely right, and I love that he was able to call it in a second. All right, so let's see. So it's so again, as they're about to turn tail, Corrigan's asking, because again, obviously he has a vested interest financially. He wants the scoop. What do you want from us? He turns that negative thinking. Now you're asking the right questions.
Mm-hmm.
So again, this it's like a serial killer. You give the serial killer an excuse to talk and gloat and that sort of thing, which basically gives Joker an excuse to monologue here. It's a really good line here he has, where it's like, there are three kinds of people in this world. I really love this analogy, by the way, with the coffee cup. There's the optimistic who view the world as view things as half full. Then you have the pessimistic, and they think things are half empty. And you got the paranoid who think someone's drinking out of their glass. Tiki, I've never heard that before of you.
No.
That's clever. And then, well, which one are you?
Well, watch the tapes.
I'm the one who knocks the glass over. And as the coffee spills, and it gets the donut. He pulled a little magic trick. He got the donut. By the way, I love in the editing. If you notice, if you pay real close attention, you'll notice they cut away. So like the donut was not there before that coffee spilled. So anyway, then they has like the big line, as he steals Bullock's donut. If you want to know what happened, watch the videos. And
yeah,
that bite, like trying defiant bite, and that's the episode.
All right.
All right. Final thoughts.
Yeah, I mean, obviously not much happens as far as like the events of the episode itself, but I think as a framing device, it's pretty damn cool. It's really kind of like pushing the show into a new territory.
Absolutely. Stories like Gotham Central, or here's an obscure one. No one ever talks about this story. Batman Dead to Rights. I love, because those stories are Joker in our world, in our justice system, and kind of like a CSI in Gotham sort of affair. Like, okay, what if we did the standard crime procedural, but we put a bigger than life killer in that situation? And you take a character like a Joker, he's going to mock it wonderfully, like we do here. So it's
right, exactly, yeah.
And again, this is something we saw like one very iconic scene with in The Dark Knight. Here we get to explore just a little bit more further, put Joker in kind of the mundane legal system, and see what fun we can have with it. Yeah, it's appropriate to do it here when inevitably he is going to be recaptured. So logically, he would have to go through these channels, which I think is what's really kind of clever about doing this. And again, teeing up our latter story with our new framing device. Just gobs of fun we're having with the found footage angle, with the video evidence.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And I'm really looking forward to seeing what happens. As far as like the different types of like mixed media that we can get away with, like security footage, 911 calls, stuff like that. I'm really looking forward to seeing how that all gets explored.
Trust me, Tiki, I've been planning out the division of certain episodes, and there's one episode that's going to have you on the edge of your seat.
Cool. Looking forward to it. All right, well, folks, our time's up, and it's time to reseal for further evidence. Until next session, when we attempt to answer the question, is there a method to the madness? With the Joker Blogs case study.
It's a whole lot of keys to swallow. Is that why they hired you?